Hi, I'm Sarah Campbell, architectural consultant for the Pacific Northwest, representing Sierra Pacific this afternoon. I'm so grateful to have everybody here with me. We're going to talk a little bit about Sierra Pacific Windows because it's really important to understand the company behind the brand in which you are going to represent out there in the field. So a little bit about Sierra Pacific Windows. It's a division of Sierra Pacific Industries. And what's important to know is that there's a really positive company story when it comes to Sierra Pacific Windows. So in 1949, Red Emerson, who is at the ripe old age of 96 as we speak today, started Sierra Pacific Industries with one single sawmill. He has since grown the company to become the largest private forest landowner here in the United States. So when you do your fact checking, there has been a little bit of a change. We were once the private landowner and the largest. What I like to speak now is that we're the private forest landowner that is the largest. We own forest land between California, Oregon, and Washington, 2.4 million acres of forest land, which is all sustainably sourced by Sierra Pacific Industries. So along with that, being the largest private U.S. forest landowner, owning 2.4 million acres of that ecosystem managed sustainably, there's a huge responsibility that comes with that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that responsibility, but reminding ourselves that this company is fourth generation family owned and privately held. Really important for your end users or your customers to understand the integrity behind the company. So with that, we talk about growing forests for our future. Sierra Pacific Industries, which again, kind of encompasses our window brand, which is why we want to talk about it when we're speaking about our windows, has a 100-year business plan. So the trees that we are planting today are going to be growing for the next 100 plus years. So we are truly making sure that the forest land that we see today is going to be there for 100 years to come. And what's really, really cool to understand is that Sierra Pacific takes on the entire responsibility of not only making sure that those forest lands are strong and safe and they are sustainable, but we take the responsibility to repopulate. So for every tree that is harvested sustainably, we will replant a seedling in that spot. For every tree, it's usually anywhere between 1 to 3 seedlings is replanted on the forest land. This year, or actually last year, in 2025, Sierra Pacific Industries decided to take on the responsibility of building its own nursery. And so we actually plant all of the seedlings for that nursery. With that, when it's up and running by the end of 2026, we will be harvesting 25 million seedlings. We need about 9 to 13 million of those seedlings to repopulate our forest land. So the question is, what do we do with the abundance of seedlings that we will be producing? The nice thing is that we're able to sell those to other companies to repopulate the forest land. So when there are instances of our company and our forest land suffering any sort of a forest fire, we're able to take those abundance of seedlings and then sell them for public use, as well as the fire departments in California, and repopulate. So it just doesn't start with windows. It's nice to know that the company's principles that grow the forest, that then make the wood, that create our windows, having a good understanding of how this all starts to come together. It's a real feel-good moment because a lot of people may get consumed with the notion of there's a company that grows trees, cuts them down, and then makes products. And we can see where that can get a little prickly, right? It doesn't make people feel really good. The feeling is to understand that there's an immense responsibility and pride in taking care of the forest land. So I encourage you guys to tell some of these tidbits. It could be whatever lands with you, whether it's fourth generation, how much forest land we own, the fact that we repopulate all of that forest land together. All of these things start to add up to a different experience when we're talking to our end users, our homeowners, our contractors, our customers. So with that, the big part of our company story from the window division is that vertical integration that Sierra Pacific Windows has adopted has made us the fastest growing window company in the United States. So aluminum clad, we are an aluminum clad wood window company by heart. Yes, we have other products that we can offer, but we always lead because we are a wood fiber company. So understanding this, owning the land, growing, which is new to us, and planting the seedlings. We also have full-time botanists, biologists, and foresters that work for Sierra Pacific Industries. They are on the forest floor right now as we speak, making sure that everything, not just from the trees, but the waterways, all of the creatures and the critters that they find on that forest floor are well taken care of. We then from there process the wood, so largest dimensional lumber company as well. So processing that wood for all of the lumber that's going to show up to the job sites. That's something we do in-house as well. If you've ever been to our factory or toured, you'll see through that processing of the wood, anything that's less than perfect that we're not going to sell as dimensional lumber or window and door components, that gets then converted into a sawdust. We take that sawdust and then we use it to create steam in our cogeneration plants that help to run those cogen plants. So anything that's wasted, that would be from somebody else's window manufacturing, we take that and we convert it into energy. So we're using everything possible from that tree. From there, what we're mostly going to focus on is the window and door aspect where we assemble all the components in-house. We are in fact the factory. I tell people when I sit and talk to them, I work for Sierra Pacific Windows. I am the factory, I am direct. If you're speaking with me, I've got a direct line to the factory, which is why we can get things customized, why we can get things serviced quicker, why our people really take pride in what we do. And then from there, shipping the products to your job site. Everything comes around full circle. Again, that vertical integration allows us to be completely in control of the entire process. Reducing waste, we reduce our transportation costs as well. And we have superior quality. I call it the seed to window company. Oftentimes we like to go to a farm to table restaurant. It makes us feel good. We know the people that are growing the food. We get to meet the chefs that are in the, cultivating and growing and picking and hand producing these meals. So it's nice to know there's a little bit of a correlation. And then again, that makes us the fastest growing window company in the United States. So that's my company's story. I hope you guys took away something from that. And we're going to talk a little bit about what your version of the company story means. So practice at home.